Good evening. My name is George Morse. I'm Vice Chair of the Planning Board, and we're opening the October 5th meeting of the board. To my left,
John O'Connell.
Elizabeth Mitchell.
Martha Taylor, Town Planner.
now we're going to bypass the minutes tonight and go right to appearances and A&Rs. And guess what? You're up next. The nature of this is to endorse an A&R plan for proposed lot line changes between 8R and 8R2 Rolfs Lane. And you're sharing plans with us?
Yeah, these are just sort of descriptive plans to give you a clear idea of what we have now and what we are trying to accomplish. And here are the full-size plans for you. You need 4 plus a Mylar?
Yes.
Okay, there's 4 plus a Mylar. I'm gonna save that one for us. I think it's easier to see on the pictures that I gave you what we're trying to do. So what we have going on right now, by the way, my name is Mike Jaffe,
Hey, Mike.
and I live at 8R2 Rolfs Lane, and this is Jared Brandwine, his wife Megan, and they live at 8R Rolfs Lane. So we have got these very irregular extensions that run into each other's lots. It's not being used the way that it's shown there. Basically, the way that it's proposed on the second page is really the way that the land is being used right now, where we're both kind of keeping to ourselves. This came up, we didn't even know that we knew that there was something irregular about the lot lines
Right.
years ago when the Adlers had it, but we realized how severe it was as they were selling the house. It come up with people who were looking at the house and things like that. So I was in here with Chris Bouton a couple weeks ago. I bought a big piece of land from him that included a chunk that we're going to trade to the Brandwines that are going to allow us to keep the lots the exact same size. So their lot is going to be exactly the same size after we swap land as it is right now. It's just going to be more normal and more usable. A lot of his land is actually the driveway that leads, the right-of-way that leads down to our house. And he's going to pick up a side yard that is basically, if you were to look at the house, you would think is his yard, but it's actually not his yard.
So you were giving up 2 different pieces of land, correct? Or-
2 different pieces of land?
Well, there's a red fork here and a red fork there.
I'll be gaining
You'll be gaining.
this little
So
sliver,
go around.
this piece right here, this fork, I'd be gaining this little sliver.
Yep.
I'd also be gaining, right beyond my septic, this piece over here. So this would make my side yard
I
more
had you
usable.
confused.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
And this little triangle is actually, it goes straight up to his front door. So actually I own property that's pretty much right, literally right up to his front
Yeah,
door.
if you look at the pictures there, you'll
That'd
see
be
what
what
each of us own.
So if you look at the plan, there are actually 3 small lots that are being created through this. There's Lot 3B, which currently belongs to the Jaffes.
Yes.
And Lot 3A, which currently belongs to the Jaffes. And Lot 2B, which belongs to the Brandwines. So this 2B is going to be swapped, given to the Jaffes in exchange for these two. These two amount to exactly the same land area as this one. So instead of, that lot shape, it'll be coming across straight. So they have a regularly shaped lot and we lose the floor.
And legally, the access is how, is a,
There's a right-of-way.
Right-of-way, okay.
Driveway that comes from
Yeah.
Rolfs Lane. and
it
this
goes
is-
through
this
this
is
property,
the- Right.
and that's part of the deal, that stays in perpetuity. Okay.
Correct.
Right, and that was actually encroaching on the Boutons' property before, it looked like. I think that's
It was,
been
yeah.
resolved with this as well.
With this, that resolves that. So with
Yeah.
the purchase I made from the Boutons a few weeks ago, it resolved that encroachment problem.
Looks like, at first blush, it looks like a good,
Sensible plan.
sensible thing to do.
Absolutely. Elizabeth, you too?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay. If you want to make a motion, I prepared one.
You did.
With Margaret.
Okay, with that, and first, I do want to apologize to both of you for
Happens,
keeping
it's
you
okay.
here, so
Happy help.
the least we can
Glad
do
everything's
is this. I move that the planning board endorse, as approval not required, the plan entitled Plan of Land in Newbury, Massachusetts at 8R and 8R2 Rolfs Lane, prepared for Michael and Lisa Jaffe by Summit Surveying, Inc., dated September 21st, 2016, showing the lot line changes between 8R and 8R2 Rolfs Lane with no change in area. Owners, Jared R. and Megan E. Brandywine, 8R, and Michael and Lisa Jaffe, 8R2, and to authorize, John?
Yes.
Okay. John Weiss as chair and authorized signatory to endorse the subject plan and Form A on behalf of the board.
I'm gonna second it, but I know, I wanna make it clear that you didn't tell me what to say.
I could have.
Elizabeth got a script to read, I'm trying to figure it out for myself.
I didn't want to have to make her.
I've
do
had a
that
stressful evening,
extemporaneously.
John.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
There were
Okay.
no opposed.
Right, now the issue is, and the reason that the board authorized John Weiss to sign, he is the authorized signatory for the board.
Okay.
He cannot be here tonight, so the plan can't actually be signed tonight.
That's
We're
okay.
gonna have to take it to him along with the prints and also the Form A, if you have that
I do.
signed by both parties.
And my wife signed it as well.
Okay, and the check for $200,
Right here. I'll write it out, but.
made out to the town of Newbury.
Somehow it comes to me.
Yep.
Absolutely. There you go.
So. We-
But without John's signature, the registry won't actually record the plan.
Yeah, we've still got some other work to do before we get to that point, and it's probably gonna take, a couple weeks anyways to get there, so if this doesn't get done for a few days, it's not gonna affect us at all.
Alright, so we'll make those arrangements. Tonight will be the effective night of endorsing, because that's when the vote was taken.
So she's got 4 in a Mylar, I'm gonna take
Roll
off
the Mylar into it.
full size with me. And thank you all for your time and your
Thank you very much.
consideration.
Thank you
you.
for waiting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a great night.
Perfect.
Great, thank you.
We should do, good night, we should do that every time, we'll be right.
We were
I think we
talking
will.
about that.
So the next item on the agenda was a public hearing, application for approval of a definitive subdivision plan for 255 High Road, owner applicant Adam Chase True Real Estate Development LLC. Now, Mr. True has requested an extension or a later date for the public hearing because we will not have a quorum for what we have to do. One of our members here at the table has to recuse herself, so without a quorum, we can't act on the request. We have a letter from Scott Cameron, professional engineer with the Moore and Cameron Group, Mr. True's engineer. He said, "Dear members of the board, on behalf of the owner, we hereby request that the hearing be continued until your next scheduled meeting. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact our office." Are there any questions from you, John, Elizabeth?
No, I would just state for the record that while I am in a butter and need to recuse myself from all substantive decisions regarding this matter, town council has opined that I may vote on the motion to continue since it is merely administrative in nature.
Very well. You have the next motion, I believe.
So therefore, John, did you have something else that you wanted to say?
Sorry?
Did you have something else that you wanted to say?
No.
Okay.
No.
So at this time, I move that the public hearing to consider the application for approval of the definitive subdivision plan for 255 High Road, owner applicant Adam Chase True Real Estate Development LLC, be continued at the request of the applicant to October 19th, 2016 at 7:45 PM.
Second.
Good. All
I
in
do that
favor?
right, Joe?
You did.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There are no opposed, motion passes.
Or was it the 19th of the date? It's next hearing,
It's
Next hearing.
After,
after the Borrego.
right.
Right. Okay, we go ahead.
I didn't have a chance to read your email.
Now, we move to ongoing old business, which is 101 Turnpike, Newburyport Turnpike ERA equipment. There's no action there, correct?
Right, just an update, I've been corresponding with both Barry Fogel, Angelo's attorney, and Joe to provide enough information to Joe so that he can give us a proposal. I've suggested that he go out with Greg, Angelo's engineer, to actually do a site walk and see what's been built as opposed to what was
Right.
actually approved on the plans. So with, hopefully by next time, we'll have that squared away. Or at least, we'll have an update, some review comments from him.
Okay, any questions? John?
No, I'm good with that.
Okay. Next item is Colby Village, request to remove existing historic foundation. There was no activity on that tonight. Is there anything on zoning amendments, anything new in the background by Doug or anybody else?
No, nothing, nothing new. This is kind of an aside, and it's not part of what we've been discussing, but I did get a letter from a resident regarding the use of LED lights and signage, so I will bring that to the next meeting, and if we have time, we can discuss that, and perhaps that can be part of our signage
Okay,
revisions.
so that's for general lighting on any sign that we have for advertising instead of incandescent?
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
He's expressing concern about the ones particular, I think that Angelo and Bill are using, that kind of blue, cold color.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Anything on the master plan, Martha?
No, no update.
No activity. There is no new business, and then we go to liaison reports. Martha, you had a real short meeting again, I understand.
Yeah, the selectmen's meeting was, last week was a record 14 minutes, and this time it was about half an hour. And the selectmen did vote the warrant, which needed to be posted yesterday, 2 weeks in advance of the special town meeting. And all the proposed articles were approved. The finance committee then met to discuss their position on the articles, whether to recommend or not recommend. And I wasn't at that, so I'm not quite sure what the disposition was on those. I understand there was some discussion about the public, the municipal buildings.
Right, right. Okay. Nothing from MBPC?
Well, we had a meeting this morning of the Stormwater Collaborative, and Gerard gave a demonstration of the Stormwater app that he's developing for us.
Okay.
So that was good. And other than that, I think just Dennis's retirement party on November 3rd.
Okay, good, thank you. John, Conservation Commission?
Yeah, we had a special meeting. We have not had a regular meeting since last week, which I did report on. We had a special meeting for some work in the resource area out of the nature trail for NES Groves. And over the next couple of weeks, they got a whole bunch of volunteers, redoing the playground, building new stuff, da-da-da-da-da.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, apparently DEP is in the mode of trying to get a bit bigger budget, so they're deliberately slowing everything down, so that we will scream at Bruce Tarr and he will get them some more money.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, thank you.
One would think nothing less about them than to do that deliberately to their
No,
taxpayers.
that's
But
not.
anyway, that's where that stands. I don't know when we're gonna get a number
Okay.
for it. So that's it.
Very good, thank you. The Zoning Board of Appeals, there is nothing going on because there was no meeting. But I will report on the next one. That ends the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second?